Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar. My name is Mickey Taylor, and I will be conducting today's webinar as well as all the other webinars that Agent Studio normally gives. I am the founder and CEO of Taylor & Company Travel, where I work as a full-time travel advisor. I also am a writer for Agent at Home and Vacation Agent magazines. So if you aren't currently getting those magazines sent to you each month in the mail, you should definitely sign up for those. They are complimentary and are a wealth of knowledge for your travel business. Today, I want to make sure that today's webinar is a little bit different than the other webinars that I've done. Today's webinar is specifically for the person that doesn't know anything about social media, doesn't have her automated social media set up, and I just want to make sure that you're understanding that this is for the true beginner in regards to social media. It was asked for me to do a webinar like this because there are some people that have recently gotten into the travel industry and they have never used social media before at all. So this webinar is going to be talking about social media, what it is, why it's so important to your travel business, and then we are going to set up your Facebook and Twitter accounts in the automated social media platform. So I am going to go ahead and get started by opening up one of my test websites. Okay, so once you're on your website, in order to get to the automated social media platform, you have to log into your control panel. And the control panel can be found by going to the bottom of your website, and then you'll see this sign in. You'll see admin access and sign in. So you're going to want to go ahead and click on that sign in. And this username and password is your email, and the password is whatever you set up when you set up your website. Okay, so once you are into the control panel, on the left-hand side, you will see all of your options. So we're going to click on automated social media. And I have to apologize because I am pretty sick and my voice is going to go in and out probably. So I apologize for that. And if I get a coughing fit in the middle. Okay, so before we jump into anything in this screen, I want to first tell you that if you have any questions along the way, please type them in the chat box, which I can see right here. So whenever someone does type in a question, I will work it into the webinar. And the next thing, before we really start into social media and setting up our accounts in the automated platform, I just want to go through and explain a little bit about social media, why it's important to your business, and some of the different types of social media in case you're not familiar. So social media is something that has taken our country by storm, basically, over the last 10 to 12 years. It started out with Facebook, and then we got Twitter. And then along the way, we were given Instagram, and then Snapchat was the most recent social media platform to be invented or created, I should say. Social media has really changed pretty much everything about what we do. It has totally changed marketing. Social media has created jobs and an avenue for people to be creative, do their own thing, get paid for it. Some of them get paid very, very well for doing, being an influencer on social media, being a YouTuber on, so social media has really changed the way we think, the way we do things. And it's really important to your travel business, because in the past, before social media, the only way to market would really be through phone calls, through emails, and direct marketing. And direct marketing campaigns, while they still exist, are not really something that a lot of people are really doing in any type of business, not just travel. But do you remember the days when your mailbox would be filled with those flyers for sales and your weekly coupons and things like that? Everything has gone digital. And I think I can recall getting one of those flyers probably in the last 3 to 4 months. I used to hate going to the mailbox because it would be filled with all those dead trees. We would kill forests to make all of those flyers and mail them out. And a lot of times they would go right in the trash. Well, now with social media, yeah, it takes up your time, but it's really not costing your business anything. So, and for those people, I like to see trees. So I don't like to kill off our trees to make all of those flyers, and then people don't even look at them. So it's a win-win for everyone. And social media is really the reason why a lot of people are able to have their own businesses today. Not just a travel business, but any type of business. It makes it viable for them to reach an targeted audience. They don't have to spend a lot of money to do it. And they can work to build their business into something that financially supports them and their families. So, some people totally hate social media, but when you really look at it, it has allowed a lot of us to have something that normally we wouldn't have been able to have. So the first one, as I mentioned, we have the main social media platforms are really Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, and now Snapchat. Snapchat will never be something that is scalable in a platform like this. Snapchat to me is just a fun thing to play with that I don't play with very much. But I know a lot of my kids do, and kids are always talking about Snapchat. Businesses are on it. I just have never gotten really into Snapchat, and I think it's one of the least valuable to our business. Facebook is the platform that mostly everyone is familiar with. It was the first one. It was really the pioneer, if you will. And that's how people started connecting and reconnecting with people that they hadn't seen or talked to for years. So Facebook is, if somebody says, talks about social media, they probably do know about Facebook. Okay, so on our automated social media platform, Facebook is one of the services that Agent Studio will automatically post to on your behalf. So if you are totally new to the game of social media, you don't have to stress, because Agent Studio, once we get your Facebook account set up and your Twitter account, Agent Studio posts 2 to 3 times a day, Monday through Friday, on your behalf. So you can have a social media presence without doing anything except about 30 seconds worth of work. And then you can let it go until you are in a better place to look at it, until you have some additional time. If you're new to the industry, you are probably starting to get overwhelmed with learning the different cruise lines, learning what suppliers you want to work with, doing their trainings and learning about, AM Resorts, all their different properties, sandals. They have multiple locations, and trying to learn everything that just involves the trade and the aspect of selling, let alone marketing your agency. So with the Agent Studio, you definitely come to the right place because, like I said, 30 seconds worth of work, and you can basically let your social media go until you feel comfortable and have the time to come back to it. Okay, so what does that mean? Agent Studio is going to post on my behalf every day. Well, let's jump into my Facebook account, and I will show you what their posts look like. I have to find one. Let's see. Okay, so we're going to scroll down to, and we didn't have to scroll very far because right here is one of them. Okay, here's a post. They always post articles and news items that are general, that can be good for any agent. Here's another one. I'm not really sure why that doesn't have an image associated with it, but let's scroll down a little bit more and we'll look. These are posts that I did on my own. Let's see. Okay, here's one. So they did a destination on the 17th. So let me see, was that a Saturday? I'm just looking at the calendar because I know, yeah, that was a Saturday. So maybe they have started, they normally only did Monday through Friday, but they might be trying to extend that to the weekend. So you'll see that there is the image from the article, and then it gives you a little bit of, just a little blurb about what they're going to find when they click on this link. And this is bringing them back to your website. Okay, so everything that Agent Studio shares will lead anybody that clicks on that article or that post, it will bring them right back to your website. So let's go and try to find one more. Yes, I'm a Red Sox fan. So you will, as we scroll, you will see baseball season is getting into high gear. Here's another one from Friday. Actually, I need to really reach out to Shay and ask him why the images are not coming through with these articles. I have my daughter's dog in my office as well, so occasionally from time to time he likes to get into things. So now this would be Mexico City, and again, it is leading anyone that clicks on that article right back to your website. Yeah, I'm not really sure why. I will follow up. I was trying to find another one, a news article that they would have posted. Here's an article, but it isn't carrying over the image. So normally this image would appear on the post. So I am actually going to just jump in here and ask him this right away while we're doing this. Okay. That way I won't forget to do that, and maybe he will get back to me before we get off. Here's another one. Here's an article on Hard Rock resorts and kids staying free. Okay, so all of these things, these posts are made by Agent Studio. I didn't post any of those. Now, some of the others that I skipped over, I did post. But like I said, Agent Studio posts enough on your behalf that you don't personally have to do any posting if you don't have the time or are still a little on the nervous side to really start posting yourself on social media. So let's go back into the control panel or into automated social media, and let's set up your Facebook page. Now you can either follow along and set this up as I set up an account. That way you can be sure that you have your account ready to go, or you can just watch and follow me and then set it up after. If I had someone that said they didn't know how to follow along with what I was doing and set up their account at the same time, so you can open a new window. If you go to File, New Window, and click this, it will give you, now this is, I'm on a Mac, so it might be a little different on a PC, but you can minimize these, and basically share the screen that way so you can follow along with me and set up your own on the other side. So that's just one way that you can follow along with me. I don't know why I have all of these other windows open. Geez. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so it's super easy to set up your Facebook account. So we're going to go in and click on Services, and it brings up this drop-down menu. We're going to click Add Services. And when we do that, we want to go right to Facebook and click on Add. And I'm not going to go into any detail of really anything else in this webinar besides setting up your Facebook account and your Twitter account, because we don't want to confuse you. This is just to get your feet wet with social media and help you set up your two main accounts so that you can start taking advantage of the automatic posts that Agent Studio does on your behalf. So we want to click Add. And we are going to go, if this is a business page or quote unquote fan page, we're going to click on the first one, Facebook fan page, post updates to your Facebook fan pages. So we're going to set that up. We're going to click on Setup. It's going to ask you if to authorize Travel Alliance Media to access your account. So you want to click on OK. And the Facebook page, because I have multiple set up in here, I have to select one. If you only have access to one Facebook page, you're the admin of only one page, that is going to automatically be filled in. The description, by default, it changes to the same name as your page, which would normally be your agency name. Now, automatically generate the image. Okay, so I just received a message from Shay. The posts that go out today will have the image fixed. So that has already been taken care of. And this ties into that. Do you want a link preview, and do you want to see an image when you post, have your posts go out? I like to have that image and a little bit of what the article is about or what the post is going to be about. So put that to yes. Geotagging, we're not going to get into. That's more advanced for everyone that's just starting out. You're not going to target any specific geographical location at this point. post as a full-sized image, leave that to no, and receive alerts for new activity. You can let this to priority inbox only, otherwise your email account inbox is going to blow up with emails. So leave this set to priority inbox only, and then we're going to save the settings. And once we save it, you can come over here and you can see that, well, I have this set up twice, so actually I'm going to delete one of them. I always use my accounts as the demos, and then sometimes I forget to go back and delete them out. You can see here's what we've set up. So now the next time Agent Studio sends out a post to Facebook, it will show up on my business page, or actually your business page, because it's already been posting to mine. Okay, do you have any questions about setting up your Facebook account? If you do, go ahead and please type it into the chat section. Okay, now the next social media platform that Agent Studio posts, and they only do Facebook and Twitter, would be to set up your Twitter account if you have one. If you don't have one, I strongly suggest you get one. I have personal and business on both Facebook and Twitter, and I have different people follow me on both. There are people that I am linked to on Facebook, but I don't follow them at all on Twitter. Some of them might not have a Twitter account, but I have just as many followers on Twitter as I have on Facebook. So I definitely want to be taking advantage of Agent Studio posting on my behalf. So even if you never post anything on your own on Twitter, if you create an account and set it up in your automated social media platform, Agent Studio will post to that, and you'll be able to reap the benefits of the automatic postings that they do. You won't have to do anything with it. My suggestion would be occasionally go in there and just make sure that if anybody is responding, that's what people do. They'll engage with you, with your posts, and that's how you strike up a conversation. That's how you let people know what you do. It could be a post on the Caribbean and somebody could comment, that's my next destination. How can I book with you? Or what is your favorite destination in the Caribbean? And you want to make sure that you are responding and answering to them. But other than responding to those comments, you don't have to post anything if you don't want to, because Agent Studio is automatically going to do it for you. So to set up a Twitter account, we would go through the same steps, go to services, and then add service. And we're going to go right to Twitter and click on add. So the option that we want to choose is to post Twitter updates now or in the future. So we want to click on setup, and it's going to come in here, and whatever account you're logged into is the account that will automatically be populated. Sometimes you might have to put in your own username and password. You want to click authorize. Oh, and it's telling me my password is incorrect. Okay, so now I need to authorize the app. And there's only 2 questions with setting up the Twitter. Do you want to post with images? Yes. Images sell, especially travel. So you always want to make sure that you are posting with images. And your alerts, priority inbox only, is where you should have them go. And then you want to save settings. So in a matter of minutes, even with describing step by step to you, we have set up a Facebook and a Twitter account, and those accounts will now be ready for Agent Studio's automatic posts. Not too difficult. And if you followed along and were able to set up your Facebook and Twitter accounts, you're set to start taking advantage of the automated features that Agent Studio provides. Do you have any questions about setting up either one of those accounts? Okay, so this webinar is set up for an hour, but in all reality, it's probably not going to take us the entire hour. We do have a question, so let me pull this out of the way. Melvin said a lot easier than I thought. Well, that's great. That's what I love to hear. Agent Studio does try to make everything as simple as possible. And Melvin, if you are just starting out in social media, this is the best way to get started in it, because you can go in and just look at even if it's Facebook, each day or each evening, go into your account and just look at what has been posted by Agent Studio, and you can easily do the same thing. What they are doing is they're going in and pulling news articles, destinations that are on our websites. So here is, now I have everything under different tabs, but here is our destination tab. You can come in here and look up, let's look up Belize. And if you want to post something about Belize, if I'm in a rush, I come in here and I'll grab this little link, and maybe the first sentence of this, which gives people enough to know what that post is going to be about. And I can come into this compose, and I can select the service I want. Maybe it's, now I won't send this out because this is in a demo site and I wanted to go out to my personal one, but I can show you how easy it is. I copied that link. Well, I thought I did. That's definitely not the link I thought I copied. I copied the link, and now it's going to give me this preview at the bottom. And I said, let's copy the first couple sentences. So I'm going to highlight that, and we can use this because this is on our website. Okay, and we can put a hashtag. Hashtags are the last thing that I want to talk to you about as far as social media, and explain to you why we use hashtags and what they're good for. So a hashtag, I would put hashtag Belize in here. A hashtag used to be, it was started on Twitter, and then it kind of bled a little bit over to Facebook, but didn't really catch it on all that much. Then Instagram came out, and hashtags are all the rage. Hashtags are used to search, and in some of the advanced, when you're ready to move on and add Instagram and to learn more about posts, creating your own posts and things like that, we have webinars for a beginner, which is one step further than this webinar. This webinar is the very basics, but we have a webinars for beginners, intermediates, and advanced. And what a hashtag is, hashtags now are, you're able to search by a hashtag. So if I would go to show you an example, to try to explain it to you a little better, let's do hashtag, and you can see as I do the hashtag, it's already starting to pull up options for them. So let's do hashtag Belize. And then it will bring up, you can see here on Twitter, the hashtag. Do we want to see on Twitter? It will pull up posts that have hashtag Belize in it. So that's how, and on Instagram, it's the same way. You can search for a hashtag. So if we wanted to search and see all the images, engaged, you're doing destination weddings and you want to look and just see who has recently posted images or information about being engaged, you can go down and see, and then you can respond. Whoops. So this is more giving you a little bit more information than you need today, but it shows you, it explains to you what a hashtag is. So hashtags are very important because people are searching by hashtags. So when you make a post, you always want to make sure that you're including them. So if I was actually posting this out for Belize, I would also use some hashtags, travel, some basic ones, vacation. I would use, and think of any word that you would want this post to show up for. Honeymoon, anniversary, and I can't spell today. Beaches, rainforest, anything that describes the topic that you're posting about. Because then once you post this, if somebody is doing a search on honeymoon, if you wouldn't have included honeymoon, there's no chance that this post would show up. But if you use it and someone does a search for honeymoon, then your post is going to show up at some point on that list. Always use the name of your agency as one of the hashtags. And I've created a couple hashtags for my agency that I have been using for a long time. And one of them is Experience Travel the Taylor Way. And I also do tailor-made itineraries. So I always include them in each one of my posts. So that's a little bit of information for you, just to explain to you what hashtags are and why they're used and what the importance of them are. Now, like I said, I use them on Facebook, but it's not as eminent on Facebook as it is. It's super, Twitter's where it started, and Instagram it's vital. Once you start posting to Instagram, you definitely want to make sure that you're using a lot of hashtags. Any other questions? I see a couple other people have jumped on. This webinar will be recorded, and let me show you where the recordings are. So 24 hours after the webinar ends, Agent Studio will have the recording up on their YouTube channel. And you'll receive an email 24 hours after the webinar is over. And it will direct you to this same link. And the link is to their videos page. And you will see the latest videos. Okay, there's a whole list. Whoops. The past couple months. So what they do is they just keep adding the webinar links here. And if you do get time to go back through some of the webinars that have previously been done, you can learn additional things about the topic, because every group of agents that are on a webinar ask different questions. So you always get something different out of each webinar. Sorry about that. You will always get, a few different pieces of information that maybe weren't covered in your webinar. I know that everyone's time is limited, but if you do get a chance to go back and watch any of these, know too that you can fast forward and skip through any of the recordings that you might have to get to a certain question or a certain section of a webinar, so you don't have to listen or watch all of it. But this is where the link in the email will bring you. And within 24 hours after this is over, today's webinar will be up in case you didn't follow along to set up your Facebook and Twitter accounts. You will be able to watch the replay and walk through step by step if you get stuck on anything. If I was ready to send this post out, all I would have to do is click on send now, and I would be able to send that out. It would go directly out within a few seconds. It would show up on our social media accounts that we included up here. Now, in some of the more advanced webinars, we do go through scheduling posts. We talk about Instagram. So when you're ready to learn and to dive into those, please make sure you sign up for those webinars as well, because they do go a lot deeper into the social media, the different platforms, and all of the advanced tasks that you can accomplish with the automated social media platform. It's a super powerful tool, and it is ready when you're ready to take your social media to the next level. We have training that will cover that, and the platform can handle everything. It's super, super powerful. Anybody have any questions? That's really the end of my basic social media webinar, but we do have a little bit of time. If anybody has any other questions, even if it's not about social media, please feel free to ask. While you're typing your questions, I am going to come in here and delete my accounts out of this demo site so that my stuff isn't getting posted twice. And you're also seeing how easy it is to delete an account. It's just a matter of clicking on the trash can. No other questions. Okay, I will show you one other, I do want to show you, I'm going to scroll back to get to, well, let me go here. When we were setting these up, one thing that I did forget to mention to you, we left everything set to the priority inbox to receive notifications. And this is your priority inbox. It's in the upper left-hand corner. So if you click this, and of course, I'm in Central Time Zone, so when I use the demo sites, it always gives me, this always pops up, the time zone mismatch. It will give me a notification and ask me if I want to change my time zone. But anytime any emails or anything are sent to your priority inbox, it would be in here. All right, well, if nobody has any additional questions about the basics I hope that if you are truly new to the social media scene, that it's a little less scary. I know that it can be daunting, and the goal of this webinar was just to help you understand a little bit about why it's important for us to do social media for our travel business, and to help you get your Facebook and Twitter accounts set up so that you can start taking advantage of the automatic posts that Agent Studio does on your behalf, because that's already included in what you're paying for your website. So you might as well be taking advantage of all of this free marketing that they do for you. If you have any questions after the webinar, you can email support, put in a support ticket, or you can email me any questions that you might have. My email address is included in your confirmation email when you registered for the webinar, so please feel free to reach out. In the control panel, you can submit a support ticket by going to the Help Center and clicking on the middle button. Click here to submit a support ticket. And I always suggest that you submit a support ticket as opposed to emailing them directly, because you'll get an answer quicker through the support ticket. And of course, you can see future courses in the Agent Studio Academy. And this will be a list of all of the upcoming courses. We will be getting ready to add all of March's webinars to this list as well, and you can sign up from there. So I would like to thank everyone for coming. I hope that you found today's webinar beneficial and you've received some good information that you can now use and start using social media to reach your audience and increase your bookings. Have a great day, everyone, and please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions. Thanks for joining.